Do. There it is. Waiting. Come on. There we go. All right. Good evening. There we go. Let's see. All right. I see a few of you guys saying 5x5s. A lot of you guys saying 5x5s. Good. All right. So you guys can hear me. I did play around a little bit with the microphone. So I know a few of you guys said I was breaking up. One of you guys gave me a suggestion on what to fix. I changed a couple other settings. So hopefully we're better on the microphone, but I'm seeing a whole lot of 5x5. So at least at the beginning, we are good. All right. Well, for me at least, I will say boy, does it feel better to feel better. That flu just kicked the living crap out of us, but fortunately, Mrs. P and I are both back on the mend and back to being busy. So it was a beautiful day here in East Tennessee, mid-60s, calm day. And so we got out and finally got her tea trees planted. And you guys live out in East Tennessee, you know, don't try digging holes. An auger is a necessity out here. So that made quick work of digging holes, but that was good. So got those in. My cabbage has all sprouted, so that wasn't bad. It was 4 days between sowing my seeds and getting them to sprout, which is nice because you always read on the package 7 to 10 days, but that's the advantage of heat mats and a greenhouse and everything. Stuff grows faster. Considering cabbage likes temperatures between about 65 and 80, and I've got it set at 70. We're good. Got my beets planted today, so those sprout in a few days. Had to go out and reprime my ram pump. Figured that would happen. It's been running for a week, but it took about 10 minutes. There was a little air in the system, got that out and off and running it went again, so that was good. So that was kind of the stuff around here that was getting done. I'll get out and till at least one of my gardens here this week because I got to get my onions in, but get that done. So yes, it's finally nice to get the outdoor work going, though we are having this storm that a lot of you guys are talking about. Is supposed to hit us somewhere around midnight tonight. We're supposed to get the rain and the winds overnight, so we'll see what happens with all of that. But I guess we're supposed to get somewhere around a half an inch of rain, which I'll take it. Put water in the pond, I'm doing good. So that's kind of where all that stands. Today is interesting. I got to playing around a little bit this morning. I want to give you guys something. Today I am officially 58 and a half. I'm 58 years, exactly 6 months today. And so I was reading a couple of stories going into Trump's speech tonight, what he's going to talk about, the immigration, and he's going to talk about Ukraine, and he's going to talk about the economy. And you guys have all seen the national debt is at $36.2 trillion right now, right? So I took a look to see what the national debt was when I was born. I mean, these are some of the rabbit holes I wind up going down. Okay, happy birthday, Dawn. And so it was kind of interesting. Now let me ask you this: if somebody came up to you right now and said, "We'll offer you a 58.5-year CD, paying you 8.75% interest," would you buy it? And I'd say you should, because historically, even the stock market has only returned a little bit better than 7%. I mean, obviously you have up and down years, but that's the average. On the day I was born, the national debt was approximately $322 billion. That was it. So the national debt has had a compounded growth rate of 8.75% every year since I was born. Right? Okay. And you hear all these politicians screaming, we've got to get interest rates down. You're growing the debt faster. Okay. So that led me into what the collective inflation rate has been since I was born. This one shocked me. 862% is what inflation is since September 4th, 1966. Which means something back on September 4th, 1966, that cost you $1 back then, now costs you $9.62. And you look at this and you go, no wonder everything is so crazy. You know, Mrs. P and I went to the grocery store the other day, and I know we talk about this, and I've mentioned it many times, how the hell people can afford to eat. Because we bought, the one thing of meat we bought was a ham. You know, I think I told you guys this story last week, or and maybe in one of the videos. It was like $11 for the ham. I'm like, okay, it was $1.19 a pound or something. That's fine. We spent $246 on groceries and didn't buy much of anything. I mean, yeah, there was a case of Diet Coke. There was eggs at $7.83 for a dozen. Thank you to Mr. and Mrs. Mountaintop Preps for bringing us down 18 eggs over the weekend. That was very nice. I figured that's probably about $12. But I start looking at this, and like I told Mrs. P, I said, you think about this. Somebody who's making minimum wage, and just for this simple math, let's say it's $8 instead of the $7.75 or whatever it is. And let's take out the taxes. What we spent on groceries was the equivalent of what somebody who makes minimum wage has to work 30 hours a freaking week for. That's almost 1/4 of their pay to make one grocery store run. Then you go, okay, let's add in the bills. You go, okay, electric, phone, internet, yada, 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 maybe insurance, car insurance. You go, okay, there's another week's pay, if not two. And you go, I got to pay rent somehow, and I got a car payment. And you go, how the hell do people make it? You know, this is where we get into this inflation crap is ridiculous. And we're going to hear it tonight from the Democrats, who have already said they're going to walk in with empty egg cartons and wave the egg cartons around because Trump hasn't done anything for prices. He promised to bring prices down. He's been president for 5 freaking weeks. We're still fixing all the disasters from the Biden policy. He doesn't have a magic wand to come in and fix everything. Plus, the Biden administration left so many freaking hand grenades around so Trump couldn't fix this stuff. It's more different. I mean, it's going to be funny. And I mean, I'm going to end the live stream tonight at 8:55 because Trump's speech starts at 9 o'clock. And I want to get wrapped up and get back so I can turn on this speech so I can watch this because I want to see what he has to say. More or less, I want to see how childish the Democrats are. I mean, I guess you have the Democrat Women's Caucus or whatever it is. It's all going to wear pink tonight because as they put it, oh, you know, Trump is so anti-woman. Going, please, give me one example where he's anti-woman. But I can give you one, because today, every single one of the senators on the Democrat side voted against the no men and women's sports law. So who's anti-woman here? I mean, this is the stupidity of all of this. So, but yeah, we'll end about 5 minutes early so everybody can go watch Trump's speech, or maybe you want to go watch Angry Prepper or whatever, but I'm going to end 5 minutes early so I can go watch Trump's speech. Because you probably got a good idea what the morning video is going to be on. And it'll be my commentary on what happens tonight, inevitably. So we'll see. So that was that. But all right, so let's get into tonight's drawing here. We are giving away an AFRI P210 solar generator. I reviewed this, 4 days ago or whatever it was. I think it was, showed you guys this. In case you didn't notice, Popular Mechanics for 2025 named the AFRI generators as one of the best on market, as they were the most durable, most rugged generators out there. So, if you're thinking about using one of these in the backyard or something, I've told you guys many times, I keep one in the back of my four-wheeler, because anytime I'm out in the backyard and I need to use, a recip saw or a drill or, any of my electrical tools, I don't have to run extension cords for 300 feet. I take a little 15-foot extension cord out there, plug into that, and off I'm running. And I will say this, if you guys win one of these tonight, congratulations. If you want to buy one of these things, I was talking to Alex today, and the $5.99 promotion will still last another couple of weeks. So, make sure that you take advantage of this, because that's freaking dirt cheap, guys. Okay. To get backup power. I will also tell you this, in the next few weeks, I will have a few more of these giveaways for you guys that I've already talked to some people about on things that are coming in. So that's kind of where it stood. All right, so let's get into this drawing here. And for those of you guys that are old hat at this, you know what it is, but I'm going to go over it for anybody who's relatively new. In a couple of minutes, we will be drawing a name on a random comment picker, and you guys will get to see it right here on your screen, of a name. In order for it to have been a valid entry, the person must list the state in which they live in, and it has to be in the lower 48, the continental U.S., and they had to enter a word in their comment that had the letter H in it somewhere. That would be a valid entry. Once I draw the name, whoever's name I drew has 3 minutes. The reason I do 3 minutes is, you guys know, you're a 90-second delay here, or 90-second in between able to make comments. Okay, so I want to make sure you got a chance. They'll have 3 minutes to say, I'm here, or something. We don't need to, oh my God, this is great. I can't believe I won. I'm here is enough. Then after that, then you can toot your horn all you want. But just please, an I'm here or something like that is perfect. Okay, that way we know you're here. Your name has to match in the comments here, in the chat room, has to match what it was on the comments under the video, within reason, okay? And I'll just pull one off here. If New York Budget Prepper, and I just saw his name in the chat room, it's the only reason I'm saying this, okay? If his name is drawn, but he comes up and says, oh, my name's Bob Smith in the chat room, I'm not going to go look to see if Bob Smith is New York Budget Prepper. Okay, doesn't match. If it comes up and it says New York Budget Prepper 1, but in here it says it's New York Budget Prepper 4573, that's close enough for me. I got it. Okay, so look at Katie there with Katie 27320. Okay, now whether she put that in or YouTube added the numbers, YouTube did this about a year or so ago, messed everybody up. And I think most of you guys have got it fixed. So, that's that. The only other thing, and I know Prep Rebel already put this up in the comments, when I say no more comments, and all the mods will put it in capital letters in the chat room, that means no more comments. The only person who I want to hear from is the winner, because I've got to go through and you guys know what the chat room looks like. It's like a slot machine coming through there. I've got to go through 2,038 people looking for one name, all by myself. All right, don't want to miss that person's name. If you don't want to follow directions, we will make it real easy, and you won't be commenting on videos or the live stream or anything for a week. Okay, you will get blocked. That's how it works. And I say this, I've been saying this for a year and a half, and people still make comments. The moderators are real good about going, bye-bye. So please, I don't ask for much. Just let the person whose name is drawn say they're here, and we're good. So, all right. We get back over to the StreamYard screen, and let me share the random comment picker, and there we go. Okay, make sure it comes up, because obviously you guys are on a delay. And why it doesn't want to show. Oh, there we go. I gotta add it to stage. That might help. There it is. All right, now I got it. All right, make sure it shows up over on the YouTube screen so you guys can see. There we go. It's coming up. Good. All right. So this is where I get to flip through all sorts of screens. There is the link from the review video the other day, which is the only place we're pulling comments from. Okay, that was the only place a valid entry came from. If you tried to make a comment in the chat room, doesn't matter. We don't pick from there. All right. So as we see here, we do not include replies. It has to be primary comments only. We do not allow duplicates. Everybody gets one entry. So let's see how many entries we have. And I think only like 6,500 people watched the video. So we'll see. I was a little surprised. It was like, okay, people not interested in winning a prize. Okay. I mean, maybe you guys are getting bored with free stuff. I mean, we could always stop, but I don't think there's enough people. If they don't want to watch, that's fine. And all those people that say, oh, y'all never win. Tell that to the, 50 or 100 people that have already won something. All right, 1,624 entries. Let's pick a winner. And it is Staying Alert. Hello, there's my H, from Central Illinois. And what a great product. Thank you, Elliot and Pinball. This isn't Elliot, this is actually Alex. But Staying Alert, you are there. And yeah, I forgot to say no more comments. So I have a bad habit of doing that. So yes, the moderators were on it. All right, Staying Alert. It is 8:17. We are looking for you, and I am here. There we go. And we have a winner. All right, so Staying Alert, what I need you to do is email me your name, your address, physical address, not a post office box because it'll be shipped FedEx to you, and your phone number, and I will get that up to Alex. So congratulations. You know what? Just for the hell of it, let's have some fun. You guys want to have some fun? Let's give away a second one. How about that? You guys want to give away a second one? Think that's a good idea? You guys tell me. If you want me to, we will. If you don't, I won't. So let's see what you guys say in the comments if you guys want to do a second one. See a lot of congratulations to everybody. Oh, there's a Michelle said yes. Oh, there's a couple of yes. Okay. All right. To hell, they're cheap. We'll get, $600 ain't bad. So, all right. So let's just do a second one. Because we can. All right. Let's get over to the correct screen again. Make sure we got everything right. All right. And we are going to pick another winner here. I'm going to make sure. All right. So we are on the screen. Good. Okay. So last time I screwed that up. Here we go. Gary R. Pound, good afternoon from New Jersey, hoping all are having a great day. That would be valid. Gary R. Pound, are you in the house? It is 8:19, so you have until 8:22 looking for Gary R. Pound. And Gary R. Pound is here. What do you know? Congratulations, Gary. Same thing applies to you. Let's have you email me your name, your physical mailing address, and your phone number, and I'll get you one sent too. So, all right. So congratulations to both of you guys. And that should cover that. So let me close out of all these windows that I don't need, and I can get over to this. All right. So a couple of people pick up an Effery P210, which is a nice generator. So we're good to go. All right. So let's go into, in the last 35 minutes we got here, some Q&A. Let's do a third one. There you go. The wallet's only so deep. All right. But let's get into Q&A here. And as per normal, if you've got questions for me, please put them in all caps. It just makes it easier for me to go through the chat room and find out what's directed at me a lot faster. The only rule we have, and you guys know this, is treat everybody else with respect. Okay, that includes me, but certainly everybody else in the chat room. Okay, disagreement is totally cool. I don't expect everybody to disagree with me. Never have, never will. Or I don't expect everybody to agree with me or disagree with me on everything. But if you disagree, state your case. If you disagree with somebody else in the chat room, state your case. If you started out with, "You're an effing idiot," you'll never make another comment, okay? And as you guys well know, I don't do second chances, okay? If you get booted, you're gone, okay? There have been a couple of times where people have gotten tossed, and I think it was a little jumpy, but 98% of the time, the mods have made really good decisions, and I don't question it. So that would be all of that. So, all right, so let's get into Q&A. Let me run back up here. Okay, there's all the congratulations. I still get the kick out of the person that said another one. That makes me laugh. North of the 52nd, have I heard from AP? I'm assuming you're meaning Alaska Prepper. No, I haven't. I have heard possibly what is going on. I don't think it's my place to talk about it, so I haven't. But no, I have not heard from him directly, and I don't want to pass out rumors or something that I'm hearing unless it comes straight from the horse's mouth. So, let's see. Laura's story, if you only have one kind of pepper to grow, what would it be? Honestly, it would be bell peppers, just your regular green bell peppers. This year, I'm not growing bell peppers. The only ones I'm going to grow are the little, what they're called lunchbox peppers. They're, like the size of a sweet pepper or something like jalapeno or something like that, the thin tubular ones. I'm not growing any bell peppers because I've got a boatload of them in my freezer. Okay, so if I need them for scrambled eggs or for stews or something like that, I've got plenty. But again, this is how I rotate my gardens too. Okay, what do I need? What am I low on? That's what I'll grow this year. The reason I say I grow bell peppers is the volume that you're going to get per pepper. Okay, if you get your normal pepper plant, you'll get 3, 4, 5 peppers on the plant. Granted, jalapenos can be at least for me, can be a hell of a lot more productive. God knows how many jalapenos I've got in the freezer. But the other thing is, and I've mentioned to you guys this before, and some people may not be aware of this, there is more vitamin C in a bell pepper than there is in an orange. And again, the reason this is important is, where I am, can't grow oranges, can't grow citrus. Pretty much anybody north of me, certainly not either. But you're going to need vitamin C in an SHTF situation. And if the scenario plays out that I talked about at lunch today, and we wind up in some sort of war, okay, how much is going to be restricted? What are you going to be able to get, et cetera, who knows what happens? at least you've got your vitamin C, and I don't have to worry about something as stupid as scurvy, right? So, reason why growing green peppers is a good deal, one pepper, is A, for the production, but B, because of the health benefit, because vitamin C will be one that's going to be hard to get for a lot of people in the country. Susan Musser, I tried starting sweet potatoes in dirt instead of water. Got lots of slips in 2 weeks. Have you tried it? Yeah, and like I said, it works fine. It works great. Don't get me wrong. Either way works. It depends on how many slips you need to grow. If you're going to plant 50, 60 sweet potato plants, it's okay. Grow them in dirt. If you're going to plant 8, 10, 12, you're going to get that off of 1, maybe 2 sweet potatoes in just a glass of water, and it's a space-saving mechanism at that point. So, again, there's no one right way to do anything. There's a lot of wrong ways, but no, and I've said many times, in water works, in dirt works. It depends on what space limitations you have and how many you need. But yeah, no problem whatsoever. I know Danny over at Deep South Homestead swears on growing them in dirt. It's cool. Danny grows hundreds of sweet potato plants. There's no way in the world he'd want to put them in a jar of water. I don't blame him. Okay, but either way works. Yes. Paula McGuire, any thoughts on Trump's gold card? Okay, so if you know what this is, it's not really a novel idea. Trump's gold card is people can buy a path to citizenship into the United States for, I think, what did he say, $5 million or something like this? And people go, what do we need that for? Whatever. Well, let's think about, first off, I don't have $5 million. It certainly wasn't going to be the way I was going to bring Mrs. P here. Okay, most people don't have $5 million. Who does have $5 million? Okay, most of the time those people are business owners or something like that. All right, and so if they're going to bring their business to the United States, hey, that may help us all bring jobs in or something. Okay, so that's good. Using it to pay down the national debt. There's a good idea too. The reason I say it's not a novel idea is you look at a lot of countries around the world who have similar plans. Some will call it like a pensionado plan, for example. If you want to move to Costa Rica or Panama or something like that, you basically can get a automatic visa to go there and live there if you can deposit X amount of dollars in the bank and show you have, I think it's like $1,200 or something like that in income. So, you can show that you have your Social Security. You go to Spain or Portugal or England or a couple of the Scandinavian companies, and they've got very similar ones. If you deposit $1 million or $2 million in one of their banks, you can get a green card, something along those lines. So it's not a novel idea, but we don't do it. So all Trump is doing with that is doing something that's done in a lot of other places in the rest of the world. Okay, why not? If it'll help us pay down the debt, that's good for everybody. If it'll bring more jobs here, even better. I'm a supporter on that one. Again, let's think about who's going to come up with the money to do it. It's not going to be all these doctors and engineers that are coming from Nigeria that have the $5 million. Okay, all those upstanding citizens that are coming from Haiti don't have $5 million. And again, it's not like the $5 million check is a free pass. You're still vetted like crazy. It's not like, oh, you were the cartel, leader or whatever it is. Obviously, you've got $5 million, but sure, come on into the United States now. No, it doesn't work that way. You've still got to meet all the criteria to come into the U.S. Vicky Savage, how are the tea plants doing? As I said at the top, they got put in the dirt today. Finally, Mrs. P was worried about putting them in while we still had some temperatures it was like, 24 and 25 at night here the last couple of days. And she wanted it to be warm enough so they can start to get a root system established before, so they didn't have to deal with the cold. So we didn't want to kill them, and looking at, because I've never planted tea plants before. So, we need slightly acidic soil. So we mixed in a little soil acidifier into the soil underneath, watered them in, and then we figure we've got this rain coming tonight. So that was a good time to get them planted. So we kept them alive all winter. that was okay. So that's good. Larry, how's Mrs. P's driving? Got to be better than my wife's. Well, we haven't gone out in well over a month, because between me being sick, her being sick, and then the weather being crap, I'm certainly not, because we had icy roads here for, a week or so. I'm certainly not going to go out. Well, she's still learning to drive. I mean, we haven't got out of town yet. I'm certainly not going to put her on icy roads because I don't feel like her wrecking the car. I want her to drive. We haven't done nighttime yet. We haven't put her on state highways, let alone the interstate. So we're taking it as time being. Now that the weather gets nicer, it's a little warmer, it'll be clear, then I can get her going again. Robert Henderson, 8513. What is my home solar system? I have the original EcoFlow Delta Pro set up because I started buying this stuff 3.5 years ago or whatever. And as I told you guys many times, I didn't go out and buy this all at once. It's like, okay, I buy this piece, maybe 2 months later I'd save up, I'd buy the next piece. I had the generators and the batteries for over a year before I had the money to get the solar panels put in. It probably took me 1.5 years, maybe 1.75 years to get everything I needed to hook up the whole system. Now, is it outdated? Oh, sure, there's the next generation models. But we're sitting under solar powered lights right now, and the computer was on, obviously I'm sitting at the kitchen table, but the battery charge that's in the laptop that I'm talking on right now was off of solar power. And fortunately now, as we get a little bit further away from the winter solstice, the sun's getting up a little higher in the air, so we're getting more generation. I was looking at the panels today, and at one point today I was getting 1,200 watts into each generator. I've got 4 panels that'll take 1,600, so we are getting 75% capacity. I told Mrs. P, I said, yeah, here in a couple of weeks I'll be ready to put the hot water heater, because we got an electric hot water heater. I'll be ready to put the hot water heater back on solar, and then pretty much everything in the house that we use will be running on solar except for our HVAC system, which will drastically cut our electric bill. We already see that our electric bill is significantly lower because all the lights, the dishwasher, the refrigerators, the freezers, everything like that are all on solar as is. The high drain stuff, the water heater, the clothes dryer, my house is all electric basically. The clothes dryer and the HVAC clothes dryer and hot water heater, those are on grid. So we still obviously have an electric bill, but because I'm not running any lights, I'm running the dishwasher, or make my pot of coffee, or the microwave, or Mrs. P and tea, or God knows we use the crap out of our air fryer. That all runs off of solar, so that helps. But I've got the original EcoFlow Delta Pro system. Was it 25,200 watt system? As I've said to you guys before, if I would have waited, then it would have been the Anchor Solix system, or probably the Delta Pro Ultra, because those would be 2 to 3 times as much capacity as what I've got. And then if I could have the solar input, then I could probably run at least my clothes dryer for sure, and possibly my HVAC system as well. At that point, with those, I probably could have literally got a whole home system, but we set it up. Our biggest priority when we moved in this house to get that was I needed something that would run 240 because my well pump is on 240. And at the time when I started building the system to do this, the only solar generator out there that would do 240 was the Delta Pro. And so that's where I got that going. So long answer, but wanted to give you all the details on it. Whoops, shot to the bottom. All right, back up we go. Hang on. There we go. James McKay, what do I think about the 45 senators that voted for men and women's sports? I wouldn't piss on them if they were on fire. I have zero respect for those people. I mean, like I said at the top, you're going to go out and wear pink tonight to protest, yet you want men and women's sports. I mean, I keep asking this question, and nobody will give me an answer. Why don't we see any trans men trying to get into the NFL or into Major League Baseball or into the NHL? Why don't we see any of that? Never heard of one person trying yet. Gee, I wonder why. Jenny, no question, just saying thank you for being here. Glad you and Mrs. P are feeling better. Thank you, Jenny. Appreciate that. Billy Bob's Wood, where did I get Zelensky's monthly salary from? You asked this 2 hours ago, 3 hours ago in the chat. I answered you there. Go on Twitter. You will find countless comments and links and everything like that all over the place to it. So go look in there. Linda Bopp, pinball. Back in 1977, minimum wage was $2.25 an hour. I think my first job was 1982. I was 16. It was a Taco Bell. Minimum wage in 82 was $3.35. So, but minimum wage was $2.25 an hour. It has only been raised $5 after all these years. That's horrible. Well, until you, depending on where you are. I mean, if you're out in California, hell, you get paid $40,000 a year to say, would you like fries with that? I'm not. I mean, here's the whole point with minimum wage. Okay, minimum wage jobs, working at McDonald's or something like that, were never meant to be careers. They were meant for the high school kid or the college kid to have a few bucks or save some money for school. Maybe they were meant for the retiree who wanted something to do, you know, at the end of the day that didn't affect their Social Security. They weren't, minimum wage jobs were never intended for the 30-something-year-old guy with 2 kids, okay? I don't have a whole lot of sympathy. I don't have any sympathy for all these people that are going, oh, gee, it's not a living wage. It was never meant to be a living wage, okay? It was meant to be minimum wage, you know, something where you could get some work experience. Not that frying up hamburger or whatever taught me anything that I ever really used in my life, but what it taught you, what you were getting out of that when you were 16 years old, is a sense of responsibility, okay? You had to be there at 4 o'clock. That's when your shift started. You worked until 9 o'clock. You had to do what the boss told you. You started to learn all this stuff because now the ramifications of you could get fired were real to you. I mean, you look at kids these days now talking back to teachers in school, and there's nothing the teachers can do. The teachers used to be able to whip your ass. You know, now the kids rule the school, right? The boss at the job, you want to talk back to me? Hit the bricks, kid. You're out of here. Oh, shit. How am I going to pay for my date with Julie on Friday night? Not my problem. Okay? You know, so I agree with you that it's only been raised $5 after all these years, but it was never meant to be something that people live on. Should it be a little higher than $7.75? Yes. Should it be 15 or 20 bucks? Hell freaking no. I mean, you want $20 an hour for minimum wage, which is $40,000, but the median income in the United States is $51,000. Okay, so you're telling me that the average person, median, 50% above and 50% below, should be working for McDonald's? No. Okay, go get some freaking skills. Now, you don't have to go to college, okay, because for the most part, for a lot of people, college is just a complete waste of money. I've got my degree in African American Studies. Cool, congratulations on your new job as a barista at Starbucks. All right, that's the extent of what your 4-year degree and your $100 and some odd $1,000 worth of student loans qualified you for. But go learn to do something. Go learn plumbing, go learn electrician, go learn construction, go learn farming, go do something that's going to be better. I I know people here in town that, one of my friends, one of the guys I bowl with, okay, he's an electrician. He started his own company, right? So he goes around and underbids these companies, these bigger companies that come in and want to do the same job, and he gets 65 bucks an hour. And he's the owner of the company, he's the one doing the work. So guess what? He's the one that gets the $65 an hour. It's not like when you go into the auto mechanic, which is another one you could go learn, okay, and there's a sign on the wall that says $120 an hour is their shop fee. Well, the guy who's, fixing your transmission isn't getting paid 120 bucks an hour. He's probably getting paid 20 bucks an hour, and the shop's keeping the other 100. Okay, so you got the people with the entrepreneurial spirit. Now, like in talking to Joe, he's like, well, yeah, I go out and I'm working on the job site all day long, and then I get home in the evening and I've got to, do the paperwork, file the taxes, order the parts, find a new client. So there's a lot of work to it. But that's called being your own boss. That's called being self-sufficient. The only way he gets fired is if he decides he wants to close down the company. Okay, that's it. I don't know. I'm getting verbose in my answers tonight. Hats. What do I think of these tariffs? How long do you think it'll last? Well, from what I was hearing this afternoon is they may last one day because I guess Canada already buckled. We'll see what Mexico does. But again, it's no different than how Trump dealt with Zelensky. Trump dealing with Justin Trudeau or dealing with Claudia Sheinbaum. Trump's holding 4 aces. Trudeau and Sheinbaum each have a pair of 2s, okay? Because we're getting screwed by Canada and by Mexico. I'll give you, this is a good one, all right? And those of you guys that are up in New England know this for sure, okay? But it's just one example I'll give you. Canadian dairy farmers can sell their milk in the United States. U.S. dairy farmers cannot sell their milk in Canada. Do you see a problem with that? This is something that Trump is trying to fight, okay? That he wants fair trade. And when Trudeau came out yesterday and says, oh, you're going to put a tariff on us? Well, we're going to slap a reciprocal one on you. And Trump's like, great, put another 25% of tariff on us. We'll just make yours 50%. And we'll just keep going. Everything you put on us, we're going to add. The idea, you got to remember, he's a negotiator. This isn't about money. This is about getting them to bend. And the whole point is that we're trying to have fair trade. Let me ask you this. How many German vehicles do you see in the United States? Volkswagens, BMWs, Audis, Mercedes, whatever it is. You see them on the road, right? Quite a few of them. Go to Germany and see how many American cars you see over there. You don't, because the American cars are ridiculously expensive because of the VAT tax. And so nobody buys them. So what Trump is doing is he's evening the playing field, and you have all these countries pitching a bitch. And it goes back to what I've been talking about for a few days. He agrees with me. He's sick and tired of the world using America as just a piggy bank. we'll sell our stuff over there, but they can't sell their stuff over here. No, doesn't work that way. What Trump is doing is twisting the arm of all these people. You want to sell stuff over here? We're going to sell stuff over there. And what he's trying to do is get rid of all these trade deficits we have. You want to sell $1 billion of stuff in the United States? Great. You guys are going to buy $1 billion worth of U.S. stuff in your country. That's what he's trying to get to. I don't think the tariffs will last long at all. We'll see, because then you get into the other thing. It's like, okay, what about closing down the IRS? Great talking points. Okay, great political deal. Sounds great. So did paying off student loans. It ain't going to happen. Jay Biggs, thoughts on Schumer interfering before Trump's meeting? I'm assuming the Trumo was the misspelling there. There's not enough detail there on what you're talking about. I don't know what specifically you're asking about. I'm sorry. Justin Burnett, can't wait to watch the Dems meltdown tonight. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. They are going to show how childish they are. And the funny part is they're going to show on public television in front of all the people in the world who watch it, all those moderates who could go either way, why they shouldn't be in control. The Democratic Party is self-imploding. I mean, the way they're working right now, the party may not exist by 2030. I mean, the latest talk, Tim Walz, remember the guy who ran for VP here? He's considering a 2028 presidential run. Please do. Jasmine Crockett, the ghetto whore from Texas, is considering a 2028 presidential run. Please do. Okay. Both of them would struggle to beat Walter Mondale's electoral count. Sheila Carpenter, when can Mrs. P do another cooking video? We're kind of out of recipes. I mean, there's only basically 2 Russian recipes. I mean, one is pelmeni, and we only make that maybe once or twice a week, or once or twice a year, because it's extremely time consuming. I mean, it takes about 4 or 5 hours to make dinner. And usually when we do it's when PBJ is here, because it's all 3 of us doing it. And then the other one, crap, I can't think of the name. The other one is a summer soup, and I've told you guys this numerous times before, and I can't think of the name of it. Those are about the only ones that traditional recipes that we haven't recorded. So, and then the other thing is Mrs. P is also very camera shy. So that would be it. Bluebird Grandma, what's the best solar panel company? Okay. It's not like I'm Consumer Reports. I haven't tested out everything. The panels that I have on my house are Canadian Solar. And from talking to a lot of people that are in the industry, they have told me that Canadian Solar are some of the best panels out there. I have not had a single problem with mine once they were wired correctly. I haven't had a single problem at all with them. Okay, they do exactly what they're supposed to do, basically maintenance free. They sit on my roof, they suck in sun, they fill up my generators, and I'm a happy pup. Could there be better ones? Sure, I don't know. Okay, but I will tell you, the ones I have, I'm extremely happy with. Stan Bright again. What is the grand total monetary of the prizes I've given away? I mean, I don't keep a running tab on it, but I've got to say it's at least $250,000. So, yeah, it's been a lot, I mean, there's some that $3,000, $5,000 prizes in there that we've given away. There's a lot of them that are $500, $1,000. I'd say, if I had a guess, I'd say it's right around $250,000. Kayla Thomas, say something catastrophic happens here in the U.S. What other country would be my go-to for relocation? Wow, that's a question. I mean, the only thing catastrophic that could feasibly happen that would cause me to leave the United States was if the United States was a nuclear wasteland. And at that point, I'm probably dead anyway. Okay. But as I've said many times, I'll die on this hill. Okay. If it's war coming here, they may get me, but I guarantee I'm taking a couple of them with me. I can't, then the next question goes, how do you get there? Okay. I mean, for me to get to Mexico, that's 1,000 miles. For me to get to Canada, that's 800, maybe not 1,000. Let's say it's 700 miles to go north, 700 miles to go south. How am I getting there? I'm not going anywhere. So that's it. And I'm certainly not one of these highfalutin rich people who's going building a compound in New Zealand or something. Not that New Zealand be one of the last places I go. I don't believe in communism at all. But yeah, something happens here in the U.S. What other country? There isn't another one. I'm staying here. Jeff Jackson, I like the way you run the comments. Hardball. That's basically how I run my life, okay? If you're going to be an ass, I'm not going to have anything to do with you in real life. If you want to be an ass on the internet, I'm not going to have anything to do with you here. Pretty simple. Back to basics. What do I think about Pam Bondi saying she got a truckload of the Epstein files? Are they not digital? Okay, well, first off, Pam Bondi completely destroyed her credibility last week when she said, everything's on my desk, I've read this, it's a horror show, you're not going to believe what's in there. And then when it comes up to time to make it public and those binders that she gave, to give out to social media influencers, okay? And it turns out it's the same freaking flight logs that we've had for 3 or 4 years, and pages and pages of black ink because it's all redacted. It's like, wait a minute, Pam, I thought you said you read all this. So then it was like, oh, I didn't know. But wait, you told us you read all this. So she's got cleanup in aisle 6 to do real quick. She's lost a boatload of credibility with the public. Now that she said she's got a truckload of files, she better show something quick, because from what I saw today, she said she got them Friday. So that means they've already had them for 5 days. Start dropping stuff. You've had 5 days to review some of this stuff. Oh, we want to protect the victims. I get that, okay? I don't want to know the victim's name. But if Bill Clinton's name's on there, if Adam Schiff's name's on there, if Bill Gates' name's on there, you don't need to give me the victims' names. You can go, we've started going through the first 1,000 pages of it, and here are the names that we found and how many times they were there already. Okay. Give me something. BW 3506. Talking about video views. Your videos no longer show up at the first of my feed anymore. I have to search every day. Oh, I've been shadow banned by YouTube for basically since the beginning of this channel. You got to remember, it's pretty obvious my channel comes from a conservative point of view. And we all know YouTube has a very liberal point of view. They don't like what I have to say, so they're not going to overly promote me, but there's nothing I'm doing that's against their terms and conditions, so they can't shut me down. And if they do, then they go right back to what we had a couple of years ago, where they're spending all their time sitting in front of Congress discussing censorship of conservative media. So it doesn't surprise me that they're making it difficult. I see this just in the subscriber numbers. I told Mrs. P, it's like, I think it's absolutely hilarious. I put a video up, and in the analytics for the one video, it shows you gained 11 subscribers on this video. Yet I look in the overall subscribers on the channel, it's like, I think in the last month I've lost like 300 subscribers. all the videos show I gain, maybe 1 or something like that on a video because somebody new found it. How do I gain on every video but lose total? So, I know they're going in there and cleaning out, it's like, oh, we'll just take you haven't watched a video in 3 days, we'll unsubscribe you. And I've heard from many of you over the years that all of a sudden you found out you were unsubscribed. Trust me, it ain't me doing that. I couldn't unsubscribe you if I tried. Inigo Montoya, thank you for the super chat. Message deleted by Robert Bates. I don't know why that would be. And unfortunately, I can't see what you said. Valerie Ann Rumpf, I'm hoping that Trump will RIP Zelensky in a rip. Okay, yeah. From all the things I read today, I thought I was reading it as RIP. Hoping that Trump will rip Zelensky a new one in tonight's speech. I am too. I got a kick out of it with Zelensky coming back and saying, and I guess it's got to be the last one because it's 8:55. He's ready to sign a deal. You've already signed a deal with England, and England promised you, $2.6 billion, but you say you need 250. Great, England gave you 1% of what you need. No wonder you're going back to Trump hat in hand. And I guarantee you, if Trump wound up taking the meeting, Zelensky will come in there and try to change the deal last minute, just like he did before. He's trying to sell something he's already sold. The guy is a grifter. This is it. I think Trump realizes this, and I loved seeing, like I told you guys this morning, Trump saying, it's all right, all military aid is shut down. Don't care if it's in Poland, don't care if it's on a ship, on a plane, whatever, it ain't going. And that had to freak out Zelensky, because he knows that if he loses, Ukraine's coming after him. And there's no way he wins without U.S. support, because Europe can't do squat. Like I said in one post, I said, England's got a whopping 40 working tanks. England couldn't win a war against Liechtenstein. It's certainly not going to beat Russia. So, all right, gang, it's 8:57. Let's all get over and see what Trump does. Have a good evening. We'll see you tomorrow. Pinball out.